that China has just announced that they're going to start buying treasury bills again. Treasury bills are secured by the land of America. Now, already China owns 40%. Saudi Arabia owns 20% of the T-bills. So together they own 60% of the land of America. Now, however, because America is so broke and running this phony economy, printing this phony money, is that if they wanted to collect on their T-bills right now, America and the dollar would go bust and broke, and we would have to take a wheelbarrow full just to buy a toothpick.
Russell means stay there. We got a break. How are they keeping the indigenous Mayans from fishing? The environment. The big bottom trawlers can come and do it, but the natives, they can't fish. See, that's the phony environmentalism Obama's bringing in. We'll get Russell Means' take on that. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
You don't have to be in the military to enjoy military surplus savings. Right now at MaineMilitary.com, you'll find savings on the top must-have military supplies. M10 gas masks for $12 or 3 for $30. Gas mask hoods $4 or 3 for $10. Mask filters $6 or 3 for $15. Save big on British chemical suits, only $12. Israeli gas masks $20. Trigger finger gloves $5 a pair or $36 a dozen. Snowshoe binding for $8 or $48 a dozen, and so much more. Even hard-to-find surplus items, all at surplus prices. Preparing the whole family has never been so affordable at MaineMilitary.com. MaineMilitary.com, one of the last surviving true surplus stores in the country. Shop now at MAINE Military.com or call 877-608-0179. That's 877-608-0179 today.
A day unlike any other in the long course of American history, a terrorist act of war against this country.
The enemy struck America on September 11th. But who is the enemy?
Bin Laden. This is his M.O.
We have to look to the Middle East. We have to look to Osama bin Laden.
Fabled Enemies is the first 9/11 film to take a close look at the terrorist ties to intelligence networks inside the United States.
Some U.S. investigators believe that there are Israelis again very much engaged in spying in and on the U.S.
I'm aware that some Israeli citizens have been detained.
Bin Laden's connections to the CIA, the hijackers' ties to the FBI, the Saudi Arabian connection, the Israeli intelligence network, warnings and war games, the shadow government, and much, much more. Fabled Enemies. Get the DVD at InfoWars.com or see it in super high quality, along with hundreds of other titles at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
Hi, this is Steve Shank. eFoods does it again. The 3-Day Responder provides one adult with 3 days worth of healthy, delicious, easy fix food. The price of the 3-Day Responder is almost ridiculous at $21.95 for actually 12 meals plus snacks. When you taste the food in the 3-Day Responder, you'll understand why families trust eFoods Direct to provide healthy, delicious food for every need. Whether you're hunting, playing, or responding to an emergency, the food in the 3-Day Responder is easy to fix and ready to go. Food is an everyday need. The 3-Day Responder is for the time when food should be the last thing you have to worry about. The 3-Day Responder, $21.95. Sometimes the best things do come in the smallest packages. Call 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com. That's 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com.
Thanks to a listener idea, we've come up with a great new T-shirt where you can maybe deprogram Obamanoids. Just like the Bush people. I tried to explain he was New World Order and evil, and they would think I was a communist. And I would say, no, he's a puppet, he's controlled. But they had invested their image of themselves, their identity in this person that was developed and created by the very corporate slave state that's destroying all of our futures and openly say they want to euthanize and engage in eugenics. And if you don't think they'll do it, look what they've done to Native Americans and others. We had a pastor on last week who exposed, and it's even ended up in mainstream Canadian press after 10 years of him fighting, that they take the Native American children in Canada and still, they just kill them. Half the boys they take, the foster care, they take them, they grab them, they use the churches and it's government control, and they just murder them. Murder little kids, and it's on record, and nobody gets in trouble. Nothing happens. It's sick, but they want to do it to everybody. It's any group. See, with the Native Americans, they could sell people they were different, or they're causing a problem. You know, they're different from us, let's kill them. But then the killing also happens to those that helped do the killing, or their ancestors. That's how this works. But here's the new shirt, and it says on the cover here, it says, worst president ever, and it's one half of the face is George Bush, and on the other half it's Obama. It says, until now, Infowars.com, and on the back it says, don't be a sucker. And this will explain to everybody and get past the controlled left-right paradigm. We've got some other new Obama shirts that just went up, and pre-orders for the Obama deception just began. And it's about getting the information out. It's also about supporting the show so we can have a platform to support other great activists and humanitarians. And speaking of that, Mr. Means, before we get into other issues and where you think things are going in the future, tell us about the Lokota Nation, the 4.5 or 5 state area, what has happened, how people get involved. This will materialize if people join, if people get involved, if people spread the word, if people financially support. And I can't think of a better leader than yourself, you know, going through the situation that you went with in the 71-day armed takeover of the sacred grounds of Wounded Knee with the feds, you know, all the things you've been through as a leader. I'm glad that you're leading the charge on this. So tell us how the people of not just the United States but the world can be involved in this historic Declaration of Independence and pulling out of the fraudulent contract. And this dovetails with 21 states now saying they're going to pull out of the Union if martial law or gun confiscation continues. So, I mean, this is a spirit, isn't it, that's rising?
Oh, it's overdue. It's overdue. And even including ourselves. But what we recognize in the Republic of Lokota is that 90% of the population in the 60 million acres that makes up this 5-state area, a part of North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, and Nebraska. This area is 90% non-Indian, 90% white people. We understand because for 150 years we've been getting along with them. We've been living with them. We have to continue that. So we invite them to join the Republic of Lokota. It's not a racial independent movement. This is a people's independence movement, except we want to do it according to our understanding of individual liberty and our understanding. But nevertheless, we want to give state power to neighborhoods so that they have all responsibility for what goes on in their neighborhood. And I don't care how big the neighborhood is. And then you have a collection of neighborhoods that make up an area, and then the area, and then finally you get the nation.
That'll be dynamic.
Your point is, if you have a neighborhood of 2 houses or 20 houses or 200 houses, fine. But you run everything in that neighborhood. What does that mean? You have to run it by consensus, number one, to ensure individual liberty. Number two is you definitely have to bring about law and order. That's responsibility. Guess what happens then? You eliminate the need for police because in your neighborhood you're taking care of it. You eliminate the need for courts and judges, and best of all, you eliminate the need for lawyers.
Well, that's the system they've had in Switzerland, some of what was founded here in the United States, and that really is, at least for a lot of the tribes, based on a Native American system?
Yes, that's based upon our control of individual liberty.
Let me ask you a question. What would you do if, let's say, you're a neighborhood or what you call a village of, say, 400 houses, and somebody commits a murder?
Well, those 400 houses would take care of that. Not the nation, not the larger area. Those 400 houses, they would have already determined their justice system according to them. You're a mini-state within a state. And it's like posse comitatus laws that used to be prevalent in this United States of America.
Well, that's how small towns were in the United States. Was they would have their court, their system, and they would deal out justice.
Well, because Americans have become the new Indians of the 21st century, and they've become actually reservation Indians because they have